Welcome to the Lauren Blackwell channel. Although I want to talk about the possible reopening of Tory's case, I do want to talk about this guy, Santino Casio, the person that attacked Tory Lanez. He has been identified. That did not take long at all. I don't think he was trying to hide. My last video about this case, I talked about how the person that is likely to do something like this is probably someone who's serving a very long time in prison and is not hoping to get out anytime soon and would likely not hide because it's like something to be proud of for certain people to do something like this to a famous person. But anyway, Santino has a long rap sheet of some very serious acts that he has committed, from second degree murder, first degree murder, other things that he did, such as causing great bodily injury to someone before his conviction. I have read, although I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, that his girlfriend, before he went to prison, his girlfriend was a minor and she suffered at his hands as well. But I am not sure if that particular information is accurate. But anyway, he's a 42-year-old man and he is serving life in prison, but with possibility for parole. He has had 2 years added to his sentence before as a result of attacking someone else, another inmate in the prison. And now he's doing this again to Tory. And yeah, his name is Santino Casio, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Oh, also, one more thing about the Santino guy. He's been held in a restricted part of the prison as a result of this attack because he is a Mexican man and Tory is a black man, and they're both in prison. So this is a bit of a racial thing now in prison. So they had to put him in a separate place, and there's a bit of a lockdown going on based on what I've heard at the prison. Otherwise, it would be a lot of problems between the two sides because of the race of the person that attacked Tory. So in order to keep things, in order and to keep everyone from fighting each other, they did put the prison in lockdown. As far as how long that will last, we don't know. And what happens when the lockdown is over? Will everybody just go about their day? Or will this cause something else, like a bigger fight within the prison between the two sides? Who knows? This Santino guy may have opened a can of worms for other people in prison and may cause a lot more fighting. Who knows? That was probably his motive. That may have been his motive. You never know. So yeah, that's all I have on Santino. It seems like demands for Tory Lanez's case to be reopened and for new evidence to be looked at is picking up some steam after a lot of people learned about the details of Tory's attack in the prison. So not only do they now know who came after him, when news of what exactly was done to him was released, it was so shocking, and it has caused a lot of people to react very strongly. To now there is a petition for the governor of California to step in, and there's a new witness that seems to have overheard Kelsey talk about her role on that night when the shooting occurred. Based on this new witness's statements, it seemed as though it might be grounds for the case to be looked at again. And I have some clips of the different people that spoke during the press conference regarding Tory's case and how there were no concrete evidence found and some of the conflicting news and details about what happened that night. So, first, I just want to read what was posted to Tory's page regarding what exactly was done to him. It is horrible. Just so you know, I just want to give a disclaimer. You may have already heard of this, but just to keep everything cohesive, I am going to start with that. So, on Tory's Instagram page, it was posted by his team. And it said Tory was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He's now breathing on his own. Despite being in pain, he's talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. So that's what was posted on Tory's page by his team. And it seems like Tory is showing a lot of improvement. I think he's out of the woods. I don't know. The collapsed lung sounds very serious to me, and it's only been a few days since it happened, so I don't know. But anyway, they said he is in good spirits. His father gave a statement, and talked about how Tory was communicating while he was being transported to the hospital, and he did make some jokes, and this is a statement given by Tory's father.
He was being rushed to a facility nearby in a vehicle in which he said, and I quote, "Dad, I thought it was my last. And having made my peace with God, I said, okay, God, is this how it's supposed to end for me?" And God said no. God told him, "Do not give up." In the car, upon which he turned to the attending officers and he said, "You must get me to wherever is the closest place that I can get to. I'm bleeding out here." He didn't even know his lungs had collapsed. All he knows is that he couldn't breathe. He could hardly speak. Upon which the officer turned around and looked at him and said, "Nah, we got to take him. He has to be airlifted." Typical Daystar. He was entertaining those officers. They were laughing. And he said, "Dad, it only hurts to laugh." But something broke my heart yesterday. When towards the end of our visit, he said, "Dad, why is it that my life has to go through so many trials? Why? Why do I have to experience this?" And that's the note that I want to close on.
So now there is a man that goes by the name Bradley James, who is saying that he was hired by Kelsey during the trial as a driver and a bodyguard. And he said he overheard Kelsey saying that she was the one who shot 3 times, and then Tory tried to knock the gun out of her hand and it went off 2 more times. And that Tory was not the one who fired, according to what he heard Kelsey say. Now, this Mr. James, we don't know if he specified who Kelsey was talking to. We don't know if he gave any more details, but he went to Tory's team and said this. As far as the case goes, this man is a brand new witness to an event that happened around the time that the case was being tried in court. So this man was not part of the trial, making him a new witness, and because of that, this may cause the case to be reopened. I don't know if he will succeed in this, but he did go to Tory's team with this information and they held a press conference. This is some of the people that spoke during that press conference, and this is what they said.
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. It is our contention that he was wrongly convicted. And while we at first were willing to let the process play out, it is our contention now that if he is not pardoned or released promptly, he may never come out. And that would be the ultimate injustice, is that he gets killed in prison for something he did not do.
I've been looking into Daystar Peterson's case for almost 6 months now, professionally known as Tory Lanez. And after reviewing the evidence, the reporting, and the legal analysis, I've come to the conclusion that Tory Lanez was railroaded by the former district attorney, George Gascon. It is true that last week, the New York Post editors reached out to 3 parties, one being George Gascon, Megan Pete's team, and Kelsey Harris. It is also true that Megan's team was the only ones that responded back for that request for comment.
As the attorneys laid out here today, the prosecution failed to produce a single shred of forensic evidence tying Tory to the actual gun. His fingerprints weren't on it. His DNA was later found to be 100% nearly excluded from the gun, as shown in the worksheet that was provided to the defense late on the eve of the actual trial, after making a request for that very document. After trial, looking at this evidence, there is a 0.01% chance Tory's DNA was on the firearm. That's a difficult statistic to equate with the story as told by the prosecution.
A lot of people seem to be believing this new witness, Mr. James, and his story. And I think there's a lot of people that have been supporting Tory even through his conviction because they do not believe Meg. And there's a lot of supporters on Meg's side as well because they're saying that there's nothing new here. But it seems like this might be cause for the case to be reopened, especially considering the fact that this new witness's story matches what an eyewitness to the event said when they said that the gunshot appeared to have come from the passenger side, which is where Kelsey was sitting. Also, if you guys remember, Kelsey requested immunity before she went on the stand to give her statements. So a lot of people are now trying to put this on Kelsey, and their convictions are stronger now that she was the one who fired and that Tory just did not want to rat her out. But she has immunity, so I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out, but this is so confusing and weird because clearly somebody is trying to protect someone. It's either Kelsey is protecting Tory because she wasn't exactly straightforward when she gave her statement, or Tory is protecting Kelsey. But then who is this new guy, and why would he go through to the trouble of essentially pushing his employer, who's Kelsey, under the bus by saying that she gave this statement that she was the one who fired. And I just want to say, isn't it crazy how friends of yours can actually pull a gun, aim it at you, and pull the trigger multiple times in your direction? I simply cannot get over that, because what kind of friendship is that? At what point while Meg was hanging out with these people did they did she think that they could do something like this even when angry? That's insane. That is insane. Tory's team reached out to Meg's team requesting for a statement or if they had anything else to add. And they put out a statement. Meg's team put out a statement saying Tory Lanez was tried and convicted by a jury of his peers, and his case was properly adjudicated through the court system. This is not a political matter. This is a case of a violent assault that was resolved in the court of law. But yeah, this is the development so far. This is causing a stir. Just when I thought this matter has been laid to rest, Tory's attack has now caused all of this to come back up to the surface, and it's all over the news again. So I guess we're not done with this story just yet. I know that this kind of attacks are common, relatively speaking, in prisons, but my goodness, this seems like this guy meant business. Like, it did not seem like he expected Tory to survive this attack, because 14 times in his face, back, and everywhere else, that is a lot. That's not something you do when you expect the person to survive the fight and enact their revenge. It really does look like the SANTINO guy was trying to take Tory Lanez completely out. I don't understand what some prisoners think about when they commit crimes like this. Like, if they know that the person that they attacked has friends in the prison, the same prison that they are in, are they not worried that they have to watch their backs basically forever? Because the people who are friends with the person you attacked are not just going to sit by and not do anything about it. You're already in prison. Why would you compound your problem by creating more enemies for yourself? I just don't understand what goes through people's minds. I don't know. The politics of prison is a whole different beast. People that come forward with statements or witness statements like this sometimes recant what they initially said. But I don't know. In this guy's case, he was the one that went to Tory's team to tell them what he had to say. So I don't know if he will recant or not. We'll see how that goes. There's a lot of conspiracy going on saying that the attack on Tory happened after the witness came out and said that he had new information regarding what Kelsey said in the around the trial about her own role in the shooting. And of course, the people are going to blame a higher force at work here, like some people who want Tory to be taken out because they don't want the truth to come out. But I mean, that's something that's never proven. Like, how do you go about proving that? There's really no way to prove that this Santino guy was sent by anyone to take Tory out. He may have just been doing it because he doesn't like Tory, or maybe because he just saw a celebrity and wanted to create a name for himself. Or it could be a conspiracy. You know what? The industry is so crazy that you can't take anything at face value. People are so dishonest. You can be 100% sure of something based on how convincing a liar a person can be. And then the next day you're hearing something totally different. You see a side of them and you're just sitting there like, who in God's name is this person? So yeah, I'm not quick to take sides. Even in real life, I don't vouch for anybody these days because people are crazy. But anyway, that's all I have on this story. I will continue to let you guys know what I find out as it develops. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.